What's happening, people? Raheem Sterling scores the winning penalty as Manchester City beat Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final on penalty kicks. This is your Carabao Cup final review. So, after the drubbing of Chelsea versus Manchester City a couple of weeks ago, where Man City ran out easy winners, 6-0 against Chelsea. They were falling up in the first 25 minutes in that game. Very, very different game this time. Very different game. Tight affair, I would say. Probably a game where Man City dominated the first 45 minutes, I'd say, possession-wise. They controlled the game, but you could tell that Chelsea were defensive. They were sitting back. They were so open in the last game, trying to play Manchester City at their own game, and they got pumped. But today, different game altogether. Chelsea sat back and they just let Man City keep the ball to themselves in their half. There was nothing really coming. There was a little chance for Bernardo Silva in the first half for Man City, but nothing much to talk about really. It was quite an even half. Coming into the game, though, it was massive call made from Sarri really to drop Higuain, and it was interesting because Higuain didn't start in the Europa League game against Malmo in the week, so we all kind of assumed that he would take his place on the pitch. Wasn't to be, which may be a good call because we all know Higuain ain't the best man to play in a cup final. That tends to miss a few good chances. So he went Hazard up top today to start the game, and Marcos Alonso, the left back, was dropped from the squad entirely. We're yet to hear whether that's injury or actually whether it's tactical, because he has been, the culprit out of Chelsea's defensive line recently. So that was interesting to see come in the game. City obviously core strong as ever with their squad coming into this game. Zinchenko coming in for Gundogan in their only change from their Champions League win over Schalke. Like I said, it was a very even first half. Both teams trying to suss each other out, as it tends to be in cup finals. You never really get overall, especially when there's two big teams in a cup final. But Chelsea made it. Chelsea made that tough half for Manchester City. In the second half, chances came far and few between again. Sarri did very well today. He cut down a lot of Manchester City's attack. And actually, in the second half, I'd probably say Chelsea were the better team. I think Chelsea were the better team overall. They looked more solid, they looked more compact. And then it's like the game plan was to just sit in the first half, and in the second half, catch them on a counter-attack. Laporte came off injured at half-time, and Kompany came on. And Hazard just said, you know what? I'm coming for you. And he ran at Kompany. There was a good chance in the second half when he sort of ran through against Kompany, went round him, dropped it back to Kante, and he sort of blazed it over from about 10 yards out. It's a big opportunity for Chelsea, that really. And you could tell Chelsea were kind of coming into the game. And Ross Barkley had a chance just after that, blazed it over the bar, curling effort just over the bar. So Chelsea were definitely coming back into the game at that point. A few calls in the game. VAR was called into. One where it was and one where it probably should have been. The first one was Aguero. The ball kind of fell kindly to Aguero, and on sort of just out, literally a couple of yards outside of the goal, and he sort of turned and finished it. And linesman flagged for offside, but the whistle didn't go until Aguero stuck the ball in the back of the net, so it was over to VAR. We kind of thought the flag was up, it was offside, but no, VAR wanted to review it. And I'm telling you, it was that close to being onside. It was very, very close. In fact, personally, I would have said it was onside. I don't think it was offside. I think they were level. Personally, I think they were level. I can't see where Aguero was even a bit ahead. I think personally they were level, but the VAR agreed with the referee and they ruled it out. Now this is my problem with VAR. Apparently, offside is supposed to be clear, but that's debatable. For me, that's a debatable decision. I don't think you can. Fair enough, have the VAR for offsides, but just say that it might not work here and again. But saying that it's going to be factual, be very difficult because of the angles that people have. makes things look all different. So yeah, personally for me that was onside, and Man City should be 1 up. But VAR agreed with the ref, and it wasn't given. The second one was Loftus-Cheek put a good ball through for Hazard, and Hazard ran through on goal against the goalkeeper, Edison, and the lino flagged straight away, and the whistle went before Hazard even reached the goal, so he couldn't even put the ball in the back of the net and then go to VAR. So at that point, and we're supposed to be hearing the rule that with VAR, linesmen need to stop putting the flags up, because this is what's ruining the game. You want VAR to come in, cool. You got to obey the rules, linesmen. Linesmen, you got to do your job as well. Don't stop me flagging. I know it's natural for you. You've been trained up to be a referee for 20 odd years, and you're just known to flag. But if we're going to be coming into this new era of VAR, linesmen got to stop flagging. You got to let the play go on. If it's offside afterwards, put your flag up late. Let Hazard put the ball in the back of the net and we review it. Then nothing on this one. There's no problem on you. I do think that one was probably just offside, but it was very, very, very tight. And at that point, linesmen, you can't be guessing. You can't be doing that in this day and age when we have VAR. Let the officials have a look at it, because there may be in a part of the body that you see that may be the offside, which was his hand, and that, I don't know. Like it does look like Hazard was leaning offside, but feet wise they were level as well. So it's very difficult, very, very difficult decision. But linesmen, you got to make it easier for yourself, man. You need to stop these flagging going on. But yeah, and then of course, the game ended 0-0. Go into extra time, and again, very, very cages. Like no side wanting to gamble with it. But do you know what? You got to credit Sarri for the game he played today. Bringing on Hudson-Odoi as your first sub shows an intent. You started with Willian, Pedro, and Hazard up top, and you're bringing on Hudson-Odoi. I like that move. Very, very good move from Sarri. And then your second change to be Barkley off, Loftus-Cheek on. Yeah, so we're so used to seeing the Kovacic for Barkley come on so regularly. Didn't happen today. Loftus-Cheek came on for Barkley, and Higuain, Kovacic, and Giroud were just sat there warming the bench at that point. So you got to credit Sarri for those changes. Very brave, very bold. Meanwhile, with Man City, they lost Laporte, as I said, to injury earlier on. Fernandinho had to come off as well at the end of the game, so they were struggling a bit with their injuries. And then Sarri did in the end bring on Higuain for extra time. Now, and this is the part you lot be waiting for, because this is the part this is what we've been talking about. The main talking point of the game is this. So, Kepa goes down injured. Probably about 5 minutes to go. Kepa goes down injured. We all see it. It looked like a bit of cramp. Not quite sure. He has been injured in the past few weeks. Struggling with a groin injury apparently, which has kept him out of game. I think maybe one of the games they played in the last sort of few weeks or so. So there was already a little thing. Oh, is it the same leg that went the other day? But they stretched it out as if it was cramp, and he looked okay. And then there was another opportunity for Man City where he put the ball over the bar, and he went down again. And at this point, we see Caballero warming up. The TV screens flashed over to Caballero. We see him warming up. You're thinking, okay, cool. Caballero's going to come on. Then you start to think about, Caballero. He's a former Man City goalkeeper. When they beat Liverpool in 2016, he was the hero. Remember, we was at Wembley for that game. He was the hero of that. They were singing Willy's name, Willy Caballero. They're singing his name out. And to have him come on against Manchester City, because of the new rules, of course, you can have 4 substitutes, 1 extra substitute in half time. So Caballero could have definitely come on. We see him warming up when he first went down, and then when he goes down the second time, the jersey stripped off. Jerseys on, training kit stripped off, and it looks like gloves are on. It looks like he's about to come on. In fact, we get to the stage where the board comes up with his number, Kepa, and Kepa's getting mad. Kepa's like, no, I'm good. Sorry, I'm good. Trust me, I'm not coming off. Sarri's like to go bad now. What do you mean you're not coming off? He's like, come. Right, You're coming off. You're injured. I'm taking you off. Even if you're not injured, this could be a little tactical play. You're coming off. You're coming off now. It's time to come off. No, I'm not coming off. He speaks to the physio. I'm not coming off. Tell Sarri I'm not coming off. I'm not on it. Like, I want to play for the penalty shootout. There's 3 minutes to go. I got a bit of cramp, but I'm good. I'm not coming off. David Luiz goes over. No. Tell him I'm not coming off. I'm not on it. John Moss comes over. Referee's involved now. Ref's like, what's going on? Like, why do you man need to make a decision? Is he on or off? He tells John Moss, I'm not injured. I'm good. I'm staying on. Sarri thinks I'm injured, but I'm not, and I'm staying on. John Moss goes over to Sarri. Like, he says he's cool to play, so he's staying on. That's it. He's refusing to come off. Sarri's getting mad. He's like, of course, he's probably getting him in Italian or whatever, but he's getting mad. You can see it. He's raging. Gianfranco Zola's there. Like, what's going on? Caballero's baffed. He's starting to put his gloves on. He's like, am I not coming on? This is against his former club. He's like, tensions must be all over the place in this situation. Kepa's like, nah, I'm not coming off. Sarri's raging. And in the end, he stays on. Sarri goes mad. Sarri starts running down to like he's about to go down to the dressing room. Like he just had an argument with his missus and he's about to run down and start sparking someone because he's getting mad. So Kepa stays on the pitch. He stays onto the penalty shootout. Now, they said in commentary, I don't know if this is true, but they said in commentary that you can even make a substitution just before you take the penalty shootout. So apparently you could have made the choice still, even then, to sub off Kepa for Caballero if you wanted to. Caballero is now sitting on the stairs, not even knowing if he's coming on to face a massive penalty shootout. His head's probably all over the place at that point. For me, of course, Kepa's in the wrong. You don't do it. Like, you're being employed by the club. Sarri's your boss, and Sarri's telling you exactly what to do. You're coming off. For me, you have to come off. There's no ifs or buts about it. If that was a number 9, if that was Higuain, if that was Hazard, whatever, you got to come off. Like, why are you arguing the fact that you're coming off or not? Like, you come off the pitch. You don't argue with it. Your number's up, you come off the pitch. But hear this now. I've got a couple of thoughts about this. Who's the skipper? Who's the leader on that pitch to say, listen, your number's up, come off the pitch? Because if John Terry was there, whatever you think about him, he's making sure decisions being made that you're coming off. He's a leader, he steps in, he interferes with what's going on the bench and what's going on the pitch, and he makes the overall decision to say, listen, the boss is saying come off, you're coming off. Dave Azpilicueta, where were you, bro? The interview after the game, he said he was on the other side of the pitch. You're the skipper. I don't care if you're playing up top. You get to the side, you talk to Sarri, you get to the keeper, you say, look, Sarri says come off the pitch. Sarri ain't allowed on the pitch. So if he ain't allowed on the pitch, then the captain needs to come and make a decision and take off Kepa and Caballero has to come on. Simple as that. I didn't see none of that from Azpilicueta. None of it. So for me, he has to take some of the blame for that. Like, your captain has to, for me, step up in that situation. Vincent Kompany's cracking up after the game like he's never seen that before. He wishes that he could do that and tell his boss to stay on the pitch. And I think he knows if he was in that position, it ain't happening. It's not happening. Like, someone is getting in there, a leader, and maybe this goes down to the fact that maybe if they had like a Gary Cahill on the pitch or someone with actual leadership qualities, and I don't personally believe I see that in Azpilicueta, apart from the fact that he's one of the most experienced guys and he's won medals at Chelsea. Where is that person to just say, no, come off the pitch, weren't there? It's a difficult one as well for Sarri but for me personally, the game ain't starting. If I'm the manager, the game is not starting until Kepa's coming off the pitch. I'm making a decision, Caballero's coming on, Kepa's coming off. That's it. John Moss, don't blow your whistle because I'm making a substitution. Put the ball up. If anything, Caballero run on. Kepa has to come off because I'm sorry, but this could be costing you a job now. In my personal opinion, Caballero comes on, Chelsea winning the penalty shootout. I think they're winning it. I think the mind games will work, and I think Caballero will make the saves, and Chelsea will win the penalty shootout. Of course, it's hindsight, innit? We never know what would have happened, but for me, that's what I believe would have happened, innit? And it didn't. Kepa stayed on. And at this point, I'm saying to the man them, Kepa, You need to be saving every penalty now. You can't make that call and then not save a penalty. Penalties come now. Jorginho does his little one step and he has it saved. He penalty saved. It's a poor penalty in the end. It's funny because whenever Jorginho takes a penalty, if he scores, it's cheeky, it's good. If he misses, shouldn't be doing that rare tear. But he missed. It's a decent save from Ederson. And then we had a couple of goals. I think Gundogan put his ball in the back of the net, and it might have been Aspie that scored the next one as well for Chelsea. And then Aguero steps up, and he has a little conversation with Kepa. Kepa has some wise words to say to him, and Aguero steps up, takes the penalty, and Kepa gets a hand to it, but it goes underneath his body. And for me, your mouth is too big at that moment in time. Stop talking to Aguero. Stop trying to put him off and focus on what you got to do. Because if your mindset was in that save, in that dive, you're saving that penalty kick. Kepa, you're trying to make this whole thing about you. You've already made this whole thing about you. So it's like, what are you trying to do in this situation? Like, why are you trying to make it even more about you? Just keep yourself to yourself and save the penalty. You want to play mind games with Sergio Aguero, one of the best strikers the world has ever seen, the Premier League has ever seen, the Carabao Cup has ever seen. Come on, man, that's stupid. You should have saved it. Cool. Aguero scores. Chelsea have their next one and they score as well. And then Kepa makes the big save. A very, very good save. Leroy Sané steps up, put the ball in, decent penalty, and Kepa makes a good save. It was a good height for him, but he makes a good save. Cool. You could say 1-1, Sarri and Kepa. And then David Luiz steps up. In his defence, very good penalty in terms of his power in it, but the accuracy is slightly lacking. Hits the post, bounces up, Lily bounces right back to him to smash it in again. He hit it with so much venom, but you know he didn't. You got to score them. End of the day, you got to score them. He didn't score. Man City then step up and score, and then there's pressure now on Hazard to step up and keep your team in the contest. And listen, if you want anyone to keep your team in the contest, it's going to be Aiden, isn't it? And he stepped up. Panenka penalty over the goalkeeper. Love it. I love it. The cheekiness of it, I love it. However, at that point, Chelsea, you're down. You're 3-3 down, and there's one man stepping up to put you out of the competition. Up step Raheem Sterling. Up step the man who was racially abused by Chelsea fans at the back end of 2018. You already scored a couple goals to make your point here that you're here. And now you got the opportunity to win the penalty shootout against them man that were racially abusing you, to let the whole world know this is about me, Raheem. No goals scored in a day, but I'm about to score a penalty shootout. And then the man steps up, and the audacity for the kid to put the ball in the top bins off the underside of the bar into the back of the net for Manchester City to win the Carabao Cup. You can't write this. You can't write this. Raheem Sterling wins the Carabao Cup for Manchester City with a brilliant penalty kick. Pep couldn't even watch it, but I'm sure the whole of Manchester City fans did. And that was it. Game done. Raheem Sterling scores. Vincent Kompany lifts the Carabao Cup for Manchester City, and they win the Carabao Cup back-to-back for the first time. And Man City, well, potentially on for the quadruple. You know, got to be whispering that these days, but FA Cup is opening up for them. Of course, they should go through the Champions League now, and the Premier League is also play for, with Liverpool dropping points today as well. So, man, we could see something mad from City. But you know, step one's done. Carabao Cup's won. Just lastly, in terms of the match though, shout out Eden Hazard, didn't it? Because for me, you were the man of the match. For me, you ran Man City defence rugged. You did it as well in the first game at Stamford Bridge. I remember seeing to play. It's like that's the only game that it works when he plays full line. Because apart from that, he seems to be quite bad in that position. But he done well. He ran his socks off. He's a big game player, man. He stepped up in the big game, and he just needed a little bit more extra help. Because I mean, if there was another Eden Hazard on the pitch, for me, Chelsea winning that game. When Kompany came on, it didn't look like he was satisfied with him there. When he made that darting run with Loftus-Cheek and his flag for offside, you know, those were the situations when I thought, you know what, Eden Hazard, You were that close. For me, you were that close to winning Chelsea the Carabao Cup, and obviously your penalty, call as you like to keep your side, innit? You done what you could do, innit? As Eden Hazard. So for me, you leave with your head held high there, man. But there we have it, innit? Manchester City Carabao Cup winners 2019, innit? Let us know what you think. I don't know, was Kepa right to do what he did? Was Sarri right to do what he did and let the game play on? And the Chelsea really, do they need a new leader? Do they need someone else to be taking over as captaincy for that? And, well, will Sarri drop Kepa? We'll have to wait and see. Make sure you check out all of our other videos, guys. And we'll see you soon.